Hello and welcome. My name is Tom.
My name is Haley.
And my name's Sabrina.
And this is
The Couch Potato Lab,
the show where we bring the science to you. That is right. We are now on episode 17. Wow, it's been 17 whole episodes. And we just want to say again to all of our viewers that have been with us through thick and thin, thank you so much. Before we begin, please make sure to download the manual. Today's manual is called Terrific Tesseracts. It is on our blog right there. You can find it at bit.ly/couchpotatolab. And again, while you're there, feel free to subscribe to our socials. You could reach us at Eyes Youth. That is Eyes Youth. That works for YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Yeah, there's our tag right there. So feel free to follow. And one more thing, if you really like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have a questionnaire hotline right there, a real phone number for real, 306-570-1013. That phone number again is 306-570-1013. Now, again, this is the Couch Potato Lab, and to the left and right of me, I have two wonderful scientists, so why don't we get right to it. Who do I got to my left?
Hi, my name is Haley. My pronouns are she, her, and a fun fact about me is that my favorite food in the summer is piping hot soup. I love it.
No way.
What? Don't you sweat when you eat it?
That's the fun of it.
You know, that's a great fact, Haley. Nice to meet you. My name's Tom. I'll be your host for today. My pronouns are he, him. And a fun fact about me, my favorite food in the winter is a soupsicle. It is a popsicle made of soup.
Don't you shiver? Don't you shiver when you eat that, Tom?
That's my favorite part, is the bone-chilling shivers of winter. Now, who do I got to my right?
I'm Sabrina. My pronouns are she, her. And a fun fact about me is that I used to be a DJ.
Oh, what?
Not the kind you might think. I was a radio DJ. I had a summer job at a radio station.
Can you give us your best radio DJ voice?
This is it right here. It's as plain Jane as it gets.
I was wondering why it sounded like a radio station in here.
That's why. So we would like to start today by recognizing that we are on treaty territory. We also recognize that you may be watching from other treaty territory or unceded territory, but we're coming to you live from Treaty 4, which is the homeland of the Nehiyawak, the Nakaway, the Dakota, Nakota, and Lakota peoples, as well as the traditional homeland of the Métis-Michif Nation. So we're really excited to bring you the content we are today, and we thank you for taking a moment to recognize or find out what treaty territory you're on today.
Thank you very much, Sabrina, for that. Let's start off today. First of all, today is a wonderful episode. We're really excited to bring it to you because it's talking about something maybe that we don't even really consider in our everyday lives. It's very abstract, and by abstract, I mean, you know, it's a concept that we sometimes have trouble putting into words. So bear with us as we talk about this abstract concept. Now, it's all about the fourth dimension. Now you're probably thinking, what is the fourth dimension? Is it smell? Is it taste? And I'm saying no, those are senses. Those are the five senses. So to just start us off, we have a little demo, don't we? Haley, you're a bit of a baller, aren't you?
Oh my goodness, you got me. I'm a baller. I love it. This is my soccer ball right here. And as we can see, this shape is a circle, a sphere. It has no corners on it. And so what we're going to do today is test this ball against, what do you have over there, Sabrina?
I have a spinning top. So if you look at this, it has like a little pointy end. So it's a little bit different than a ball, although it still has a circle on it. There's two lines poking up that gives it a nice little point of contact on the desk when I give it a little spin here. Let's see if I can get it to...
Try and try again. You know, that's a pretty good
Third
spin.
time's the charm. Not bad. You see, it's rolling.
We got the point. It's a top that spins. Now back to our baller in residence. Haley.
Yes, so what we're going to do is compete to see which stays spinning the longest. Our ball right here or the spinning top.
Alrighty.
3, 2, 1.
Spinning, spinning, spinning.
Oh,
Still spinning.
Yours is spinning for way longer.
Still spinning there.
Still spinning.
Not as crazy, but still spinning.
Still spinning, you know, just like this crazy world of ours. Now, before I get all philosophical, that might come at a later episode. Why did the ball not spin for as long as the top? Does anybody know why?
Yes, well, unfortunately, since our ball has no vertices, which are those corners that we have on shapes like square, we'll have 4 vertices. Our sphere here has none, and so that means there's more points of contact for friction to take hold.
Friction? You know, I think a while back, back when we were much younger, we had an episode on friction, you know? So maybe if you're confused about what that means, go find our episode. I believe it is our 10th, that's right, our 10th episode called Friction in a Bottle. So go check that out on our channel. Yeah.
Yes, so anyways, our ball has more points of friction because there is no points, so it's slowing it down. It can't spin as fast, whereas our spinning top over there had not that many points of friction, my apologies, and so it was able to spin for longer.
So it had more edges, the spinning top had more
Exactly,
edges,
yes.
or vertices, as we like to call them. That's the fancy mathematics term for edges, I believe. All right. Haley, can you spin the ball on your finger like a baller? That's from Eugene. Eugene
Let's see.
Okay.
Go, Haley, go.
You know,
Go, Haley, go.
okay.
Go, Haley, go.
Don't worry, you're only surrounded by like thousands of dollars of filming equipment.
Exactly, right? Exactly, so we'll give this a try. Ooh.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Maybe 2 fingers, more
Yeah.
more surface area. Ooh,
Hey.
no.
Not bad.
That ain't bad. That
Good
ain't
job
bad.
for trying.
You know, good job.
Thank
Baller
you
in
very
residence,
much.
Haley.
I love that.
All right, so we have a wonderful activity coming up for us right now. But before we do, let's talk a little bit more about shapes. I know shapes, it seems something so arbitrary, something so boring. We all learn shapes in like grade 1 and 2, right? We all know what a square is. We all know what a circle is, classic. We all know what a triangle is, you know. But as we learn more about shapes, we learn that there's a lot more to them. In fact, you know, I think of them as like characters, you know. First time you meet them, they're just a square. They're regular. But then, you know, maybe you go over to their house for a board game night, and you get to know them a little bit better. Then they start to grow some sort of dimension to them, right? They start growing a bit of character, right? So
Very good analogy,
you know,
Tom.
shapes are like people, and people are like shapes.
I think you might be talking about round and flat characters.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's exactly what's going on here today.
Because you want to have multiple dimensions to your character, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
a round character, right, Haley?
Exactly.
Love
yes.
it.
So, TV right now, this is 2-dimensional, right? I can't reach forward out of your TV as much as I'd like to and shake your hand, but
But not in this day and age,
not
Tom,
in this day and age.
unfortunately.
You know, maybe just to grab to pet your dog or something. I don't know, all the things. But if this were a 3D TV, and I mean a real 3D TV, I could put my arm back here, and I could put my arm out there, and you know, you'd be able to see all those angles at once, right? So we do see. Do we see in 2D or 3D?
I believe we see in 3D because I can see the front of you, the sides of you. You look like you are in time with me, if that makes sense. I'm not looking at a picture of you. If I was looking at a picture of you, that would be 2D, right?
Yeah. So if this is confusing for you, we will get more in depth with it a little bit later. But for now, we have a wonderful activity. This is where you could pull up your activity guide for terrific Tesseracts. Tesseracts, that's a mouthful. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like something alien, something out of this world. But can anybody here explain what a Tesseract is?
A Tesseract is what we're going to build. So let's just get right into it. And I think once we have it made, it'll make more sense than me just trying to rattle off what I think it is.
You know what? I love that.
Okay, so we need 6 straws. So you're going to get your 6 straws, and we're going to cut them in half so that we then have 12 straws. So I am going to cut 3 at a time because I don't want them to go everywhere. If you want to cut 1 at a time, that's totally cool. We're going to cut them. Uh-oh, I lost track. 1 more. Okay, so we're going to get these shapes going. So we're going to start in our 0 dimension. A 0 dimension is a dot. So I don't really have a dot here, but if you were to draw a dot on a piece of paper, that is a 0 dimension. A 1 dimension is a line. So when you connect 2 dots, that's a line. So if you were to look at this, like if I was maybe to flatten the straw, it would be a 1-dimensional shape.
You know, Sabrina, I actually have a perfect analogy
I love that.
can go along with this activity, because we all know that this activity might take a little while to build in each stage, and you don't want to sit in that awkward silence. I don't like awkward silence. I don't think these two wonderful scientists next to me either. So what I have here, if you'll follow me, I got this fancy whiteboard, and we're all going to learn about the geometry of video games. Maybe you could see that. I don't know why I wrote in green, such an awful color to show up on the TV. So video games, we think of them as like, whoa, it's crazy, it's everywhere, but actually it's just an assembly of shapes. And I'm going to give you a bit of a history lesson. All right?
So while Tom is talking away, we want to start putting our pipe cleaners inside our straws. So we just want to leave a little bit of space, and then when you're done that, we want to start making a square. So go ahead, Tom, keep on going.
All right, so like my friend Sabrina was mentioning, you know, we got a 1-dimensional object. Maybe it's a line, maybe it's a square at this point. So video games started off as just squares. We had things like arcade games, which we called 2-dimensional games. You know, you couldn't go forwards or backwards. You can only go side to side. So this was supposed to be a square, but it looks more like a carrot cake. So I'm just going to fix up that square right there. A little bit more rectangular than I'm used to, but that's all right. So there we go. This is, you know what? This is going to be my little character. This is our video game character. He's got little chubby cheeks like that. There we go.
Have you had a board game date with your character yet, Tom? Do you know him in multiple dimensions?
I don't know the first thing about this character, you know? So it's still a very 1-dimensional character to me. Or 2-dimensional, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So where are we at right now?
So where we're at right now is you should have all of your pipe cleaners through your straws, and then we want to start connecting them. So if you connect them at a 90-degree angle, that's how we actually move into the next dimension. So we just have 1-dimensional things here, and then we just want to kind of give them a little twist. So give these a little twist at each corner to make, we're going to make a square.
Cool. Haley, how's it looking over there?
Oh my goodness, well I'm almost there. I just need to add one more side, and then it looks like I've got a 2D shape. Kind of like your character on the board.
Yeah.
So by joining all these 1-dimensional lines together, we now have a 2D shape. So I think we know how numbers go. We have 1D, 2D. The next thing we want to do is make it 3D. So how we're going to do that, let's make another square first. I think that'll be the easiest way to do this. So we'll connect all of our pipe cleaners at the sides at 90-degree angles.
And you know, at this point with my video game character, and someone asked, what is the video game character's name? Their name is Dennis. You know,
Dennis?
Why not?
The
It's
menace.
the weekend, right? Long weekend. The weekend of Dennis. So if I wanted to make Dennis 3-dimensional, I'm no artiste, really. But I would maybe, you know, give Dennis here some dimension, you know. So now we can see that parts of Dennis go forward and backwards through space. And space is a very weird thing to think about, but think of space as just like a place for the objects to be in. Oh, we have a wonderful question here from a viewer. Why do 3D movies hurt my eyes? And that's a great question. So, you know, I have that feeling all the time too. I go to a movie and guess what? It's 3D. No one told me. So your eyes have to accommodate for the distance of the screen, because that's where the light's coming from. Light has a lot to do with how we see. Maybe we'll do an episode on vision one of these days. So your eyes must converge to the distance of the image we see that may be front or behind the screen. So again, it's not a 2D screen. There's stuff going on here. There's stuff going on back there. Hopefully that answers your question. But thank you for your question. Where are we at, Sabrina?
Okay, so by now you should have two 2D Squares, that's what they're called. Blanked for a second. Okay, so now we want to connect them. So you should have 4 left. We want to wrap those around to make a 3D shape. So you want to make sure that your pipe cleaners are a little bit longer than your straws, otherwise you're going to have a lot of difficulty doing this. And mine are already coming apart, so that's okay. We're just going to re-twist them together. Pipe cleaners are nice because you can twist them lots.
And Haley, how's it going over there?
You know what? I'm getting there. I've got 2 squares together. I took a different route than Sabrina.
Haley's
and
doing
we'll
things
see.
a bit different.
Yes, we'll see if this ends up working out.
You know, that's the beauty of science. You know, you can go one way or you can go the other. You might get the same results. You might get something completely different. And that's the beauty, wouldn't you say?
That's how we find new things. That's how new things are invented and created.
Yeah, and a quick art lesson, because I am no artist, but I am quite the artist. Shading is a wonderful thing to add dimension to your drawings. As you can see here,
Look at that.
I gave Dennis a bit of shading here. You know, maybe I'll give some up here to show, oh, that looks more like hair. But, you know, Dennis needs hair. It's cold where he is. So, yeah, shading is a great way when you are trying to draw out 3D objects to give them some dimension, some space, you know. There we go. Dennis, looking good, buddy.
All right, and here I'm tying on the last piece to make my 3D cube. I tied my things not quite even, but that's okay. It's still 3D to me. So this is our 3D shape because it goes across, it goes back, and it goes down. So that's how we know there's 3 ways that this is going. But now we need to make it into a 4D shape. Haley, are you ready to make yours into a 4D shape?
I am. And you know what? I love bubbles. Blowing bubbles in the summer, it's super fun. So we're going to be doing that today to find our 4D shape. So all you're going to need is 3 ingredients. You're going to need some water in a bowl. You're also going to need some juice for dishes and some cornstarch.
Is that cornstarch?
Corn syrup. You are very right.
You know, I was voted most likely to distinct corn syrup from cornstarch in high school, so.
Oh, perfect.
You know, yeah.
I had my head in my supper tonight, and I'm making tofu with cornstarch.
Oh, wonderful. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, so what we're going to do with our bubble mixture here is we're going to put some dish soap in, and we're just kind of going to pour until there's enough.
So, what an abstract measurement.
It's very abstract.
So how many swirls of the dish soap do you think?
You know, I'd say about 3 to 4 good swirls.
3 to 4 good swirls. That is an excellent measurement.
I mean, we can always add more, but we can never take away. So you want to start small and then build our way up with more dish soap if we need.
Exactly. And for me, this water's been sitting a while, so I'm just going to stir it a little bit, get those bubbles moving. Awesome. So our last ingredient are corn syrup. We are going to put in less of this than we did the juice for dishes. So if we did 3 to 4 swirls of our juice for dishes, we're going to do about 1 to 2.
1 to 2 swirls of corn syrup.
So we got some water, we got some soap, we got some corn syrup.
Yes, and the corn syrup is just making it so our bubbles don't burst right away. I hate that when I'm blowing bubbles and they burst right away. So that corn syrup just strengthens them up, kind of sends them to the gym, gets them going.
A nice little pump for your bubbles is what they say. Why don't you show the camera what it should look like, your bubble solution there.
Alrighty. Let's see. So I got lots of bubbles in mine. It's kind of hard to see because it's so white. There we go. So you want lots of bubbles. So if yours doesn't look like this, add a bit more. Oh my goodness. Add a bit more dish soap.
You're just getting so emotional.
I am getting so emotional. I'm ready to do this. I hope you're ready too. So we have our 3D shapes and our bowl of soapy dish water.
We're good to go.
All right, let's make a 4D shape. Who wants to make a 4D shape?
Now, I'm going to, you know, every good scientist, and I'm just saying, it's the long weekend, you know, and nothing goes better on the long weekend than a good hypothesis. That's right. That's what I've always said. Never catch me not saying it. I'm going to hypothesize that when we put it in the bubble solution, it's only going to coat the the vertices around it, the surfaces around it, only making a 3D object like my good buddy Dennis. What do you think, Sabrina?
Well, I think that somehow this has to make a 4D shape. So a 4D shape has got to be like, since this is a 3D shape, it's got to be like 2 3D shapes put together. So I don't really think it's going to go like on top or the side. So maybe it's going to go like sit on the inside a bit.
Oh, and Haley, what do you think?
Oh my goodness. I'm just hoping that I can blow some bubbles.
All right.
All right.
Haley, what are we doing?
We are dipping our 3D shape in, and since this has so many sides, we're going to start with one, we're going to pick it up, and we're going to flip it to the other side. And we're just going to do that throughout the whole thing, making sure every side is coated.
Ooh. Coat the sides.
So I don't know if this is a 4D shape or not. I kind of have 2 places. It kind of looks like a little line in the middle, not really a square in the middle. Do you know what I mean, Tom?
Yeah, it almost looks like I don't want to say trapezoids because I'm not sure if that's correct. Those look like 2 pyramids with a haircut, if you know what I mean.
And there we go.
Oh, and I've got one right here.
Oh, there we
Beautiful.
go.
We'll see where we can get it here.
That looks awesome.
So
there we go.
oh, there we go. We had it for a
if you
second.
just saw it, I'll try and bring it back by dipping it in that soap again.
Yeah, and this can be a little finicky. So the beauty of science is that you can try and try and try until you get it right because there's no number of strikes.
Okay, I think I got mine a little better now.
Oh,
Mine
yeah.
looks more like a 3D shape in a 3D shape, which is, I guess, what we're supposed to have.
Oh, I've got another one again.
Oh,
that is
Haley's are
beautiful.
so good. I think maybe mine is a little bit funky because my cube is not a perfect cube. So mine looks maybe a little funky because of that. See, because my sides aren't quite even.
Awesome.
So as you can see, we just kind of got to play around with this. I find if you like kind of give it a few swirls in there, it helps and really coat every side a lot. So I'm doing like each coat like 3 times before I even try and pull it out of the water.
So we have a question here. This is specifically for Sabrina. Can you estimate the ratios of the bubble recipe? We had an episode on ratios that was just a blast to watch, and I think Sabrina really has a handle on it.
I love ratios. My second love in life besides chemistry is math. And they go quite well hand in hand. So if I had to, what was the question, to water?
What's the ratio of the bubble recipe?
Of the bubble recipe.
Yeah, what were the ratios?
So I would say the bubble ratio, maybe 2 bubbles, like 4 swirls.
Ooh.
4 swirls of bubbles, Haley said.
Yeah.
And she said less corn syrup, so maybe it was 2 swirls of corn syrup to 2 cups of water. So I guess it would be 4 swirls to 2 swirls to 4 to 2 cups.
And everybody knows that swirls is the standard unit of measurement here at eyes. We had another question here. How do you draw a 1D character? Now, Sabrina was saying that a 1D object is just a dot. So if you'll follow me over here to Dennis.
You're starting at the bottom, Tom. A dot is a 0D object.
You're right. That is a 0D object. Absolutely. So I'm just here with my good buddy Dennis here. He's 3D, but if I wanted to draw him as a 1D object, this would be Dennis. Just a line. You know, nothing fancy about
Pretty
him.
boring.
Pretty boring. I don't even know his last name.
Pretty flat character.
Pretty flat character. You know, no development whatsoever. So that's how you draw a 1D character. In fact, you can make a whole comic book, and it could just look like that. And you could say, you know, to your parents or guardian, hey, look, I made a whole comic book. And they'll say, no, it's not. It's just a bunch of lines. And I'll say, no, it's 1D art. That's how you do it, folks.
So I'm living out my dream over here. I am able to get that 4D shape and I'm able to blow it out. So let's see if I can get it going again.
Ooh,
I was
let's
practicing while you were drawing Dennis.
Thank you.
All right, oh, I just lost it. I want to do
You got
this so
Haley.
bad.
You got this. Whoa. That worked
Not
really well.
bad.
Sabrina, do you think you could
Well, you know, my shape is under construction right
hey,
now,
that's okay.
so
Haley, let's see.
once
I'm-
we get her back going.
Yep, I'm getting my sides. I'm building my house. I'm building my 4D.
And you know, oh yeah.
Whoa!
That is so cool.
I love that.
And again, we love seeing your submissions to the Couch Potato Lab. Using the hashtag Couch Potato Labs, please show us your creations on Twitter. Send us a photo. You know, on Instagram, on Facebook, we'd love to see it. There's our tag right there. We would love to see your wonderful creations, maybe blowing some bubbles. That would be awesome. I mean, if you have 3D video game characters that you have been working on, we want to see those too. We always love seeing you folks being nice and creative. Now,
Haley, I bet that I can blow better bubbles than you.
No way. Let's see. I don't
Alright.
believe you.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You got
Good.
your bubbles ready to go?
This
Why-
is
yeah,
that kind of competition.
Why don't we start with you and then we'll.
Okay, sounds good. I'll blow and then I guess. Uh oh.
Well, that wasn't.
I
a very good
waited too
bubble.
long. That's not my submission. Do
I've
not
got a
take that as
submission.
my
All
submission.
right, let's go to Haley. Whoa,
Ooh.
that looked all right. You know, but.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Tom.
Okay, my turn. That was even worse.
So you're telling me I'm the queen of bubbles?
I think so. I think you definitely won that
Because
one.
everybody knows that a bubble is really just a flimsy ball, and you are our
Pretty much.
resident baller.
There we go.
Of course.
All those spheres, hey?
Now, someone asked, "Hey crew, can I make other shapes with that are three-dimensional, like a prism? Maybe. What's a prism? I keep hearing that word, and I don't know what it means.
Well, I think a prism has like a flat bottom and like 4 sides. So it kind of looks like a triangle on top, but instead of 3 sides, it has 4.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's
Very
what a prism is.
Uh,
But yeah, you can definitely, sorry, you
No,
can
no worries, you
definitely
go.
make other shapes. Haley, what's another shape that we could make to blow bubbles with?
I would love to make a 4D hexagon.
Ooh.
What's a hexagon?
You know, I'm going to test Sabrina. Do you know how many sides a hexagon has?
Okay, so I'm thinking of a stop sign. A stop sign has 8 sides, and I think hexagon has 6. 'Cause if I think about like a beehive, are those hexagons in a bee?
They very
Like
well
or
could be.
bee.
So, we had a question. What other shapes can I use instead? So, what other shapes could we use for this wonderful activity?
Well, we have this lovely 3D cube, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think we can use lots of other shapes too. Like any shape that you can make that's 3D should work in here. Like Haley, do you have an example of something that we could use?
What about like a triangle, but 3D? That would be a
Oh,
prism.
Prism.
That would work great.
Yeah. But what about something like a hexagon? Do you know what a hexagon is?
Oh man, is that the shape with the 6 sides?
Yeah.
It is. I always kind of get octagon and hexagon kind of mixed up, but then I remember stop sign has 8, and that is an octagon. And then I think of like honeycombs, like
Oh, yeah.
bees. That's
Beehives.
6, right? That's
Yeah.
hexagons.
So there's lots of shapes that occur in nature and lots of 3D shapes that occur in nature, such as my favorite might have to be a nice bowl of penne, which are cylinders. You know, cylinders. That's a 3-dimensional object, a tube, if you will. What other examples do you got of shapes in nature?
Well, if we're going off a cylinder, a tree trunk is a cylinder.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
I guess like animals are technically, we see them in 3D, so they're made up of 3D shapes.
Oh,
Haley, what
like
do you-
a spider.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one's made up of 2 spheres side by side, one a little bit larger for the body. Oh my goodness, so that's where we see some shapes in nature.
That is true. And you know what? I even have this little competition that I've set up. You might notice that you have some 3D shapes on your workstation.
On my workstation.
On your workstation right there. Ah, there you go. You
Ooh,
found
yes.
it.
Mhm.
All right, we got some
Well.
wonderful shapes here. I'm going to challenge both of you to create a 3D animal. That is a 3-dimensional animal using only the shapes that you have here. Hey, speaking of 3D animals, we have our good friend Skylar. Hey, buddy. There's Skylar, the science dog. See you around, buddy. So, that's an example of a bunch of 3D shapes in nature. So, I'm going to give you maybe 2-ish minutes.
Okay, what's our restrictions and what's our guidance? Do we have rules?
Your rule is that they have to be like an animal that exists in nature. So the shapes have to make sense, you know?
Okay.
You don't want to have the mouth where the toes are.
Well, you know, Tom, sense is subjective because it might make sense to me, but it might not make sense to you, but let's go with it.
All right, I'm going to give you 2 minutes on the clock. Let's start it now. All right.
Oh my
So
goodness.
while they're building, we would just like to remind everyone that this is our 17th episode, and we're just so grateful for all of you to be here along the way. We wouldn't have been able to do it without you. There's our stuff right there for social if you want to follow us at Eyes Youth. Again, thank you very much. Haley, what's your strategy? What are you doing over there?
All I know is this cone right here reminds me of a beak.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's what I'm going for.
A beak. I like that a lot. Sabrina, what do we got in your corner?
To me, this looks like a long neck, so that's what I'm going with, a long neck animal. I just don't know what I should do with if I should use my cylinder or my cone as the neck, because they both look like extensions of a body to me, but, you know, it's got to look good.
Does anyone want to tell us what 4 shapes we have here? Because they look pretty cool. What do we got here?
Oh my goodness, well I've already mentioned the cone right here. It looks like I have a prism on top. Sorry, I've already taped them all together. And then we have that tube that we were talking about earlier, the cylinder, and the square.
Also known as cube.
Yep.
It's hard to think in all the dimensions.
It really is.
True. So we got about maybe 45 seconds left on the timer. So I think what scientists would call this is crunch time. Not quite dinner, not quite lunch, crunch time.
Sabrina, aren't you the one that calls lunch supper? What is it again?
Are we bringing this conversation?
Oh, I love to
into it?
phone Sabrina out on her farm and bug her about her mispronunciation.
So let's get something straight here. Lunch is what you take out to the field. You take a nice little packed lunch. I brought a lunch today. It's packed in my little lunch kit. If you're sitting down at a table, visiting with your family, that's dinner at 12 o'clock noon. Supper is always at 6 p.m. no matter where you are. It's always called supper.
So Sabrina, are you telling me you have 4 meals in a day?
No, Haley. I have 3 meals, but they differ from day to day.
Wow. Really invigorating stuff here at the Couch Potato Lab. Let us know what you call that time at around noon to 1 o'clock. I personally call it lunch. You know, some people call it supper, some people call it dinner, and 2 out of the 3 options are wrong. So let us know what you call it on the Couch Potato Lab. Now, I'm going to give both of y'all maybe 20 more seconds. 20 more seconds.
Sounds great.
And then after that, you have to describe the animals and their habitats. So where do they live? Habitat
I am ready.
I am almost ready. Give me one more moment here.
All right.
I saw that Sabrina added some of her supplies from her earlier activity.
You bet. I'm using the resources I got.
It's true. It's not cheating. All right. So well, why don't we just start with Sabrina while Haley's finishing up.
Okay.
All right. What do you got there, Sabrina?
Tom, what do you think this animal is?
You know, it looks either like
Okay, I'll help you out. This is the body.
Yeah.
This is the tail.
Yeah. Is it a slug?
No.
Okay.
This is the long neck. Such a long neck.
Oh, I know what you're talking
And
about.
these are the color yellow.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, Sabrina. Are you talking about a long-necked slug?
Not exactly. Okay, one more hint. This lives in the hot desert areas of the world. Slugs would not survive
Classic.
in these.
It is the Sierra long-necked slug.
Okay, I give up. This is a giraffe that we have here. This is a long neck giraffe with its nice little head and tail made of my 3D shapes.
Wow.
Cylinder for a head, cone for the neck, cube for a body, and prism for a tail.
You know, it's no slug, but I see it now. Thank you for your submission. Tell us a bit about the Sierra, about the hot climate that they live in.
So they live where they're hot. They live in like the desert areas, maybe Africa, where it's nice and warm, and they have skin, but they don't have a few episodes ago, we talked about insulation. So if you want to go back a few episodes, talk about insulation and blubber in particular. This animal does not need such because they live in the hot areas.
Oh, well, very cool. Very cool. And they got those long necks to reach all the slugs in the tree, right?
Reach all the berries in the trees.
Ah, potato, potato. What do we got over here, Haley?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll let you take a guess as to what I've made.
Well, it's anything but a slug. Let me tell you that, because everybody knows what a slug looks like. Is that my childhood dog, Milton?
You're so close.
What is it?
You are so
Is
close.
it the studio dog Skylar?
I should have went for that as a model, but that is not true.
What is it?
I think I remember Haley talking about her cone being a beak, where I thought it was a neck. She took it as a beak. But it also has long legs, which is what's confusing me. So is it a bird?
Is it a plane?
You know what? I kind of forgot about the rule. where
It had to be real.
Exactly.
So what you got?
It is, I guess it could be a bear of some sort with a beak. Let's go with that.
A beaked bear.
A beaked bear.
Adaptations
You know,
to our bears.
I don't even want to know where that thing lives. I
In your closet.
in my closet. All right. So, check your closet for beaked bears at night, people. All right. This was great. If you have some paper cutout shapes, please make up your own animal. Make up its own habitat. We'd love to see the creativity that you bring. We have one more activity before we leave you today, talking about 4-dimensional shapes and all that. I'm always carrying this mystery bag around with me. Everybody knows me as a mysterious guy, and that's what I got right here. This is a mystery bag full of treasures and wonders that many people have never seen before. Now, we keep talking about our senses, right? And senses help us orientate or place ourselves in our world, if you will. It helps us. Spatial awareness is what we call it, the space around us. So I'm thinking, you know, we use our eyes all the time to discern 3D from 2D, right? We use our eyes to know that, hey, this is flat, this is 3-dimensional, what have you. But what about our hands? You know, the eyeballs of the arms, as I say. So what I have here is I have a bag, and I'm going to hand it off. And you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to have to guess what object you felt, and then I'm going to take it out and see, you know, what shape it actually was.
Okay, I am not going to look. I'm just going to keep the bag closed, and I just touch one,
Mm-hmm.
and I bring it out so everybody else can see
Close
it.
your eyes, but bring it out.
Okay, I think this one's easy.
Okay, what shape do you think it is?
It's just a sphere,
Uh-huh.
because it's circular, because
Yeah.
there's no, like, points or anything.
Yeah, pointless.
And I think it's just like a bouncy ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Sabrina, you're
It's blue, I
absolutely right.
think. Is it blue?
Now, I can tell that you're cheating. At this
I'm not,
point.
I swear. I was not cheating at all.
Wow. Well, Sabrina can see color through her hands. What a superpower. Thank you so much. You were correct. So 1 point to Sabrina. Let's bring it on over to Haley. Close your eyes and then
Oh
pull
my
out
goodness.
an object. Let us know what 3D shape it's comprised
Yes,
of.
this is quite a heavy
It is a
bag
heavy
we
bag.
have. Oh,
Oh, she is feeling around. I just grabbed the
I
first thing
need
I
to.
touched.
Okay. All right. So this feels very, very heavy, very oblong.
What
very
shapes do you feel?
I feel circles on the ends.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like a cylinder in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not really. Maybe I can do some bicep curls with this one because it's a weight.
Yeah, there
Absolutely.
you go.
Absolutely. Okay, I'll do one more each. How about that?
Okay,
All
sounds good.
How
right.
about that? All right, speed round. Let's do it.
Okay,
Close
now
your
it's
eyes.
much less weight in there. Thanks, Haley, for that. I honestly don't know what this is at all. It's a banana.
Absolutely. And what shape is this object?
Okay, well, like kind of like a cylinder, I guess, here, and then Also like another little cylinder on top. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Like
Open your
a
eyes. I think you're absolutely correct.
Awesome.
All right, Haley. One more for
After
you.
we're done this, I
One
want to know
more.
the objects in there because some of the things I have no clue what they are.
All right, close your eyes and have a feel.
Okay, I think I got one.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think that might have been what I was feeling that I didn't know what it was.
so this feels like a square on this end because of the vertices.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty close.
But then it's rounded on the bottom, so we could call this a squircle.
I think people call it a pentagon.
Ah, I think you may be
'Cause
right.
it might have 5 sides.
Okay,
Or maybe it's a triangle because it only has 3 sides technically.
maybe. And then it's kind of like that tube you were talking about going up, and then I'm not quite sure what's going on up here. Maybe 2 triangles on either side.
Yeah.
Maybe
What do you think it is?
it could be a trophy of some sort.
Open your eyes.
Good job, Haley.
Wow, world's greatest doctor. Tom, how'd you get that?
By being the world's greatest doctor. All right, that is all the objects that I have in my bag, I think. Yeah, all the ones that matter anyway. So at this point, we've talked about shapes and all that, but people are thinking, shapes are shapes, whatever. Shapes aren't that important. Haley, you have a wonderful STEM spotlight that talks about 2 wonderful people in the video game industry. Is that correct?
I do. So these 2 people that I have right here, Megan and Tara, they are our STEM spotlights. Oh my goodness, jumbling up the words in my mouth. And so video games, we love them, we play them, but sometimes they're always just made by the same people. So these 2 are 2 women, and they happen to be Indigenous ladies that make video games.
I think we should put it on
Oh.
display so that everyone can see it.
Yes.
Because there we go. I can see it better.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. To wrap up the show, we have a fan favorite. It's called Ask Our Scientist. The part of the show where we get to your questions that we weren't able to before. There we go. Let's start off with, this one's actually a poll. All right, so a questionnaire. Out of the 3 of us, who likes 3D movies? Let's raise our right hand on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Who likes them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it just you?
what's the reason to not like them?
So I agree with our viewer that said that they got sick when they watched 3D movies. I also do not love 3D movies because they also make me a little bit sick. And I also don't wear contacts a lot, so I always go to the movie theater with my glasses on, and then I have to take them off to fit the 3D glasses on, and then I can't watch the movie properly.
And I don't like 3D movies because I'm always scared whenever there's a scene with the ocean that I'm going to fall into it. Yeah. All right, we got another question. What is the name of the 12-sided shape? Does anybody know?
12?
12.
Okay. If we think through this, does anybody know? I don't know.
I believe, it came to me in a dream last night. This slug came to me in a dream, and it said, a 12-sided shape is a dodecagon.
Oh.
Dodec is, of course, the Greek prefix for 12.
I have flashbacks to organic chemistry with those prefixes. Let's leave that behind.
In the 3rd dimension. All right. So this is a competition between the 2 of you.
Okay.
Basically, the point of the game is you're going to rapid fire tell each other shapes, and the first one to stop thinking of shapes loses.
Sphere.
Square.
Triangle.
Circle.
Cylinder.
There's definitely more shapes.
And that's all that we got. So I think Sabrina knows. You know what? But, whatever. All right, we got one more. Do Tesseracts exist in real life?
Well, I think we made one today, but I don't really have any real life examples to give. Do you, Haley?
Nope. All I can think of is abstract examples.
Yeah, like in the Avengers, that of course has an object called the Tesseract. But other than that, Like my grandpa used to say, call me a cut down tree, 'cause I'm stumped.
There you go.
So this was all the time. Oh, you know, we got one more. We got one more.
One more
right here.
question and then one nice little song to end us off.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about, Tom.
I think I know what you're talking about. Does anybody know what a polygon is? Polygon.
A polygon. I think a polygon is that what you were talking about, Tom, before with 5 sides? Or what were you? A pentagon
That's
is
a
what
pentagon.
you said.
Yeah.
I think a polygon maybe just has one side that's not even with the rest, so that maybe it is a little different. I don't know. What do you know about that, Haley or Tom?
Well, my brain is telling me that a polygon is a plane figure with at least 3 straight sides and angles, and typically 5 or more. But that's just what I said off the top of my head. I had no help whatsoever.
So, like, basically any shape is a polygon?
I guess so. It's more than one gone.
There we go.
There we go. Sabrina, you're saying we had a lovely little poem.
We do, and this will maybe help you remember what 3D shapes are, what kinds of 3D shapes we have in our world and lives. And Haley, are you ready to start us off?
I am. So remember that 3D shapes are fat, not flat.
A cone is like a party hat.
A sphere is a bouncing ball.
And a prism is a building tall.
A cylinder is like a can of pop.
A cube is like the dice you drop.
3D shapes are here and there.
3D shapes are everywhere.
Everyone watching at home, that has been our show. We hope that you really enjoyed it. I know that I had a great time. Did you all have a great time?
I had a great
Yes.
time today.
So if you like our show, please remember to like and subscribe to the Eyes Youth channel on YouTube and follow us on all of our socials. We love to hear back from you on what you thought of this episode and many more. We'll be back tomorrow with a show. Again, we are 5 days a week now, so we will see you there. My name is Tom.
My name is Haley.
My name's Sabrina.
And this has been the Couch Potato Lab.
Bye.
Bye.